Julien, it's a pleasure to be speaking with you live from here at Dubai Airshow. You're looking at SAF and CDR, and this is in your title. I have not come across someone at an OEM who has both of these in the title. Where do you see sustainable aviation fuel and carbon removals coming together?
Well, first of all, it's a pleasure for me to be here as well. I love being in Dubai. The weather is much better than in Toulouse nowadays, I have to say. So why SAF and CDRs? Well, simply because you know that to decarbonize the industry, we need to use all levers. And as a quick reminder, the levers are very simple. First, we need to fly with the most fuel-efficient aircraft. That's what we do every day. That's what all of Airbus is doing every day, producing and delivering the most fuel efficient aircraft of today. Then we're preparing for the next generation, and that's another part of Airbus. We're preparing for those future aircraft that will be even more fuel efficient and maybe who will be flying on hydrogen as well. Then we need to make sure that our customers don't burn fuel unnecessarily. So that's the fuel efficiency bit. And here we have thousands of colleagues in the support and services organization who are looking after this. And then comes the two other biggest contributor of the what we call the lasagna chart internally, which is SAF and CDR. And SAF and CDR, interestingly, are two things which are not in our control at all. We don't produce fuel. We don't produce CDRs. Still, we believe that we can have an influence. We want to have an influence. And actually, there's a lot in common between SAF and CDRs. It's a new industry in both cases that is trying to emerge. The problematic of project developers is the same. New stakeholders, the need in both cases for a lot of regulation, because without regulation, nothing's going to happen. So that's why we decided to combine both in my team under the leadership of Julie Kitcher, our Chief Sustainability Officer, because we saw and we are seeing every day a lot of similarities between the two.
I think it's visionary. It's a few years ahead of its time, even because now you can lead the industry and have this conversation with airlines on this portfolio approach of sustainable aviation fuels and removals. But before that, Airbus makes aircraft, and you have committed to making aircraft that is 100% SAF compatible by 2030. How's the progress coming along? What are some of the challenges you're encountering in getting there?
So you're right. We always wanted our platforms, because it's not only the commercial aircraft, by the way, we want the helicopter and the military aircraft to be 100% SAF compatible by 2030. We always wanted our platforms to be able to fly with whatever fuel would be available out there. Said differently, we never wanted our aircraft to be a bottleneck, a technical bottleneck. So we started a journey by taking a commitment on our own to say 2030 looks like the moment where we should have those aircraft capable. And then today we are looking at achieving these targets with two different avenues. First one is to say, okay, maybe there can be a fuel that is produced that is a drop-in fuel. Drop-in meaning a fuel that goes in today's aircraft, today's helicopter, today's military aircraft with no modification at all. So Jet A1 compatible. So that's what we call the drop-in avenue. And in the drop-in avenue, the work is not so much on us. The work is really with the fuel producers. Where we are contributing is together with the other OEMs who sits at the ASTM table. We are working on a fuel specification for the 100% drop-in SAF. And we hope that that specification will be available in the next couple of years so that fuel producers can then start work on it. The other avenue that we've explored as well is the non-drop-in fuel. So non-drop-in meaning a fuel that doesn't fulfill Jet A1 specification of today. And for us, it would require technical changes on the aircraft. So we started testing those fuels. And for us, the easiest way was to take what we call SPK, synthetic paraffinic kerosene, which is the pure part of SAF. You know, what people call
neat SAF.
The neat SAF, exactly. But neat SAF comes without molecules, a family of molecules that are called the aromatics. So neat SAF doesn't have the aromatic. And we flew almost all the aircraft of our portfolio with that neat SAF. We took a lot of learnings with us on what does it mean. Fuel density is different, and plenty of other properties are different. Conductivity is different. Viscosity is different. A lot of fuel properties have changed. So we took a lot of learnings, and we are still working on what would be a specification for non-drop-in SAF. But we also realized, and it is very similar to the work that we had engaged on the hydrogen, that we shouldn't limit ourselves to the aircraft. Because to get to the aircraft, you need a logistic, you need a fuel infrastructure. So we're now discussing with a broader ecosystem, the airports and the fuel logisticians, as to what would it take to carry that fuel that would be non-drop-in and therefore couldn't be mixed with traditional Jet A1. So this one is a bigger task, if you ask me, more longer term, but one that could bring benefit eventually.
I want to take a tangent here. You mentioned non-drop-in fuel and hydrogen as well. Airbus has, of course, led in hydrogen for a long time, and there was a resetting of the target. Yet the Zero E program is going forward.
Still alive, yeah,
right? So
absolutely.
What's the latest update you can share with us on the Zero E program? Where do you stand?
Well, as you said, we had to readjust the timeline. And for us, hydrogen remains a very promising pathway to produce an aircraft that would ultimately not emit any CO2 when flying. That's the ultimate goal. But the technical challenge is significant, and so is the ecosystem challenge. Because to be able to fly that aircraft, we have a lot of work to do on the aircraft side, but there is a lot of work that needs to happen on the ecosystem as well. So here again, it's the airport infrastructure, it's the production infrastructure, it's the logistics that comes with it. And we realized that this ecosystem wasn't ready yet. So what we are doing now is we're working on the propulsion system. We're still working on not the battery, but
Storage and transportation?
not the storage. Looking for the word. It will come back to me. But anyway, the work is still continuing, and it will just take more time. But we believe that hydrogen is the fuel of the future ultimately. Yes.
Stay still in the
Fuel cell.
hydrogen fuel cells.
Yeah,
Thank you.
cell. So we're concentrating our efforts on the fuel cell technology because that's the one that we believe is the most promising when it comes to our applications.
Right. I like one of the words you just mentioned, ecosystems, right? It's not just the hydrogen ecosystem. Airbus is actually actively building a SAF ecosystem as well. Can you tell us how Airbus is looking to foster ecosystems around the world around SAF?
Before the interview started, we were talking A380, and the A380 for me was the first learning as to how an aircraft has to fit in an ecosystem. Because you may remember or not, but the A380 had a little bit of work to be done on the airport infrastructures. So we learned through those type of programs that yeah, we can produce aircraft, but we need to work with others. And the same goes for SAF. So for SAF, the ecosystem is a little bit more complex, I would say, than just the airport infrastructure story of the A380, because you need to look at SAF from a producer standpoint. You need to look at SAF from a logisticians and distribution standpoint. You need to look at SAF from a consumer standpoint, and consumer, in fact, I should say consumers, because there's the airline flying the SAF and burning the SAF, but there's also the beneficiary of the CO2 saving. So it could be the passenger, could be you, could be the cargo customer as well. So the ecosystem is complex, and the ecosystem, in order to get in motion, needs a regulatory push. And or it could be a pull, whatever, push or pull, a carrot or a stick, a mix of both. But what we see, and this is a discussion that we had here with the local ecosystem of the OAE just this morning, we need a collaborative approach. We need people to work together. We need people to invent together. Because what we're doing here is unique. There's no magic recipe. What worked in other industries may not work for aviation. So we have our specifics. There are local specifics as well. So it requires a lot of a tailor-made and a haute couture type of approach. Indeed.
You mentioned we have to acknowledge the region we're in. We're in the Middle East, which has been not just a high growth region for aviation, it has given us some of the best innovations as well. Look at the Emirates A380 based hub and spoke network. That's an innovation in itself. Look at the Qatar Airways Q Suite and the cabin experience, passenger experience innovation, or Starlink, all the internet being announced right now. It's quite amazing what comes out of this region. So I think we should definitely expect a lot of innovations in sustainability coming from the Middle East as well. What do you see as the role of the Middle East when it comes to sustainable aviation? And how can the region really punch above its weight there?
You're absolutely right. The region is remarkable in its ability to go fast and go big. And what is really exciting when it comes to sustainability and SAF in particular is that the region has already a great track record when it comes to energy and renewable energies in particular. So we are very excited about the potential for the region to become a SAF hub for the world in the future. So if there is one place where eSAF in particular could be produced and at a lower cost, it is in that region. Can it happen fast? Absolutely, because the region knows how to deploy quickly policies and innovation, as you rightly said. So, short answer, the region can be the SAF hub of the future.
Well, I think solar is ample here. It's pretty hot here in Dubai right now and sunny.
It is.
I'm not missing it. Living in London, I'm quite loving the sun around. So absolutely, I mean, you talked about fuel cells earlier. You talk about hydrogen, green hydrogen. You talk about everything that can power e-fuels. The elements are here, and the region has shown it can think big. It's about moving fast.
And it can do both at the same time, fast and big. And with those unique attributes, which is being already at the center of the energy discussion of the world, yeah, we can combine both, and we can do wonders. They can do wonders, and we are very excited to support.
In fact, if I'm not wrong, Emirates A380 had the first 100% SAF flight, one engine, 100%
Yeah,
SAF.
they were very innovative in flying with a 100% drop-in SAF at the time. It took us or gave us a lot of learnings. Not to forget as well that we tested a methanol to jet solution during the COP that happened a couple of years ago on one of our helicopters. So maybe this one is less known to you.
I did not know about this. Thank you
But
for sharing.
we did a methanol to jet tests on one of our helicopters on the occasion of the COP that happened in Dubai. So it's it's about innovation. It's about going fast, going big. And again, as I said, we're very keen on working with the local ecosystem, and we can see the local ecosystem getting into motion. We can feel the traction coming.
It's not just the cheap energy. There's some very interesting feedstock like Salicornia crop, the mangroves, and other seaweed there that could help.
And a lot of and waste to fuel as well, because the waste today is already converted into energy, but some waste could be even converted again into fuel. Yeah. So there are some very exciting projects in the region.
I came across Luta Biofuels here, which is trying to do waste to SAF, and they have a collection system that collects cooking oil from all the shawarma places around Dubai, and they use it to ultimately make biodiesel and then SAF.
Eat fries every day. That's what I keep on saying. That's what I keep on saying, and I know that the doctors don't like it, but yeah, we need more used cooking oil. So please eat fries every day.
I am not advocating this policy. I do not know if this is official, but this is definitely Julien's recommendation.
Not every day, every 2 days. Okay.
Driving sustainability in a company as large and complex as Airbus must have its big challenges. Yet, you've got this goal of 100% SAF by 2030. Airbus itself uplifts a lot of SAF for internal operations, like the Beluga, for example. How do you keep people internally motivated to act and innovate quickly on sustainability, especially when you see news from different regions going in different directions? How do you still keep going? How do you motivate your team?
That's a very good question and a very topical question. Indeed, it's not always easy. But where I am very confident, and where our employees, my colleagues, remain very engaged, is that sustainability is at the core of our purpose. We pioneer sustainable aerospace for a safe and united world is our purpose statement. And sustainability is at the core of our strategy. And in fact, when you look at the lasagna charts, every employee of Airbus can relate directly to one of the four levers of decarbonization. And if not directly, then it can be indirectly. Because, for example, when you're on a business travel with Airbus, now you're flying on SAF. More and more, we're going towards the airlines with whom we fly for business travel, and we buy SAF to them. So even when you're flying for business on a business trip with
As an
Airbus,
Airbus employee.
as an Airbus employee, you will be getting your share of SAF. And that's how we get, the people to relate to the whole decarbonization challenge of the industry, which is, let's be honest, a huge challenge, but a very exciting one. So again, a short answer to your very good question. We stay on track because we know we're here to stay for the long run, and sustainability is about preparing the long-term future of the company. So we stay on track. We adapt when there needs to be a short-term adjustment, and then we try for every employee to relate directly or indirectly to our purpose statement.
And I think the Airbus EasyJet SAF alliance is a good example of this, isn't it?
Exactly. So we were very proud of working with EasyJet, who is truly a sustainability pioneer, in helping them on that route, which is very important to us, which is the Bristol to Toulouse route, working their SAF corporate program. So we eager, and stay tuned. Maybe you will see other similar programs appearing with us in the future, and with other airlines, because we believe that the voluntary SAF, so people who are buying SAF voluntarily, either for cargo or business purpose, is really a very important demand signal for the industry, a source of demand for SAF producers that shouldn't be ignored, and in fact should be made bigger. This is a call for all the readers or listeners to this podcast. When you fly into an air show, when you fly to a conference, try and buy SAF. And SAF is different than an offset, because SAF is in the sector.
An inset.
It's an
not an
in-sector.
offset.
It's an in-sector measure. So buy your share of SAF, and you don't need to go big. You can just take 1%, 2%, 5%. It is something that you can afford, and your contribution, the few kilograms of SAF you will buy, can make a difference. Because, I always say, 1 gallon at a time, we can make the SAF challenge become a reality. So 1 gallon after the other. Absolutely.
Fantastic, Julien. The final part of this interview now is called a rapid fire round, in which we get to know Julien a little bit more personally, okay? So I've got questions that I've not shared with you before, which is very, very simple. You got to give me a very short one-word answer. Like, Julien, what's your favorite airline?
Air France.
Okay, Air France, staying true to the home brand. Favorite airport?
Munich.
Munich. That's a good one, especially during Oktoberfest, when they have the big square there.
Well, and it's the airport which is designed for short connections. So
Yep.
I'm always very confident that I'm not going to miss my connection at Munich Airport.
Love it. Favorite city?
That's a tough one. Copenhagen.
Good choice, Copenhagen. You can swim in the rivers there.
I never tried it. It's too cold.
Even before you could in Paris.
No, but the atmosphere,
Yeah.
the mindset, the food.
Mhm.
I love Copenhagen.
Yeah, love it.
Not
Good
so much in the
choice.
winter. Still
What do you do in your free time?
spend time with my family. I love cooking, so I cook for the family.
So do I.
Yeah.
Dinner's on me.
Please. And well, whenever you come to Toulouse, stop by the house.
I'm gonna skip the Michelin restaurant in Toulouse at Airbus and come over and
I cannot guarantee it will be as good as the Michelin restaurant, but I'll do my best.
Thank you. What is something you'd like to learn?
I'd like to learn how we can change maybe how we do business. Because for me, the sustainability challenge that we have for the industry, and not limited to the aerospace industry, but beyond, requires a change of doing business.
Yeah. Changing mindset a little, right?
And I always say that the biggest challenge for us when it comes to decarbonization is discounted cash flows. So how can we value from a business standpoint long term much more than what we do today? Because when you do discounted cash flow computation, anything that is beyond 5 years is really worth not a lot. So how can we make that change so that what comes after 5 years, 10 years is worth much more than what we anticipate today?
So I like that answer. And I think we digressed a little, but what's your favorite book?
Well, historical books I have plenty of, but I'm a big, and I know people will yell at me, but I love Ken Follett and all the different books that he wrote. Yeah.
Okay. Favorite movie?
Um, I have to say I like the Mission Impossibles, and when I'm flying, I like
The new one, Mission Impossible Maverick?
this one was pretty good.
Nice. I love it too. And finally, what's the best advice you've received?
That's a good one. I have not prepared this one. Maybe the best advice I received is that there's only so much you can do.
Let's do more with less. No, less with more.
Less with
The other way
more.
around. Julien, thank you so much.